Collier gets it back, but Alyssa Thomas picks her pocket. AT streaks in. And Fee still on the floor. Cheryl Reeve and the rest of her staff streaking onto the floor. And Cheryl Reeve has been ejected.
Stop me if you've heard this one before. A playoff game ends, a coach gets tossed, and then instead of heading quietly to the locker room, she decides to roast the refs, the league, and maybe even the fans for good measure. That's not a comedy special. That's Minnesota Lynx coach Cheryl Reeve's week. And the WNBA just said, nope, sit down for Game 4. Let's break down what went down, why it matters, and whether this is a meltdown or a movement.
And you've had numerous altercations all throughout the year, culminating in this week. Becky Hammond calling out the league. Last night, Cheryl Reeve went frickin' nuclear because we all saw what happened. Multiple instances where it looked like Alyssa Thomas fouled the living hell out of Collier. They think Collier has a fractured ankle. I did look for an update. I couldn't find it. This morning I did a video and we all saw Cheryl Reeve crash out, and then she obliterated Kathy Engelbert in the WNBA. And they're wanting to embrace the physicality in the league. So,
the ejection heard round the league. So here's the setup. Minnesota's down late in Game 3 against Phoenix, and every possession is basically life support. Napheesa Collier, their franchise star, their engine, their everything, is battling for the ball near the three-point line. Alyssa Thomas, who's basically the WNBA version of a bulldozer with court vision, pokes it loose, Collier crumples, and Thomas goes coast to coast for the dagger. Now in real time, Lynx fans screamed, "Foul!" louder than a fire alarm. But the refs, stone-faced, no whistle, just play on. And as Collier hobbled off, clutching what looked like a serious leg injury, Cheryl Reeve absolutely lost it. She doesn't just question the call. Oh no, she storms onto the court like someone hit the turbo button. We're talking finger-pointing, shouting, and tracking down the nearest official like it's a game of tag and they're it. Then, when she gets tossed, instead of the classic coach walk of shame, Reeve decides, why not make it a show? She lingers, jawing at the refs, jawing at fans, and making sure everyone in the arena knows she thinks this is malpractice. Literally. That's the word she used later in the press conference. And that press conference? It wasn't just a rant. It was a 2-minute monologue worthy of a mic drop. She torched the officiating crew by name, Isaac Barnett, Randy Richardson, Jenna Renault, and then leveled a grenade at the WNBA itself, questioning how anyone could think this trio was playoff worthy. Imagine a Yelp review so savage the restaurant closes down the next day. That was her vibe. The best part? As much as fans gasped at her language, you could tell some were low-key nodding like, well, she's not wrong. Because playoff officiating has been a sore spot all season, and Reeve just said out loud what everyone else was whispering. But if you thought she'd just rant, drop the mic, and get away with it, yeah, no. The league heard every single word, and their response came down faster than a fast-break dunk. Enter the suspension, the fines, and a coaching staff that suddenly looked like they were running their own reality TV drama.
When you let the physicality happen, people get hurt, there's fights, and this is the look that our league wants for some reason. We were trying to play through it. We tried to make excuses. One of the best players in the league shot 0 free throws. 0, and she had 5 fouls. 0 free throws. Got her shoulder pulled out and finished the game with her leg being taken out and probably has a fracture. And so if this is what our league wants, okay. But I want to call for a change of leadership at the league level when it comes to officiating. It's bad for the game.
The suspension and the fine parade. Now here's the thing about professional leagues. They hate chaos that they didn't script. Trash talk, fine. Passion, fine. But a coach calling the refs malpractice on live TV, yeah, that's a hard no from the WNBA. So the hammer came down. Cheryl Reeve wasn't just fined, she got slapped with a one-game suspension. And not just any game, but Game 4 of a playoff series where her team's season is hanging by a thread. That's like your boss suspending you during the company's biggest presentation of the year. Hey, we know everything's on the line, but you yelled at Janet from HR, so enjoy your couch. And the fines? Oh, this wasn't a solo act. This turned into a group project, and apparently everyone wanted an F assistant coach Eric Thibault. He couldn't resist chirping at refs during the heat of the moment, so the league docked him too. Then there's Rebekkah Brunson, a Lynx legend turned assistant, who decided to log on and let the officials have it on social media. Classic mistake, the tweet first, apologize later strategy rarely works when your employer is watching. She got fined as well. So in one night, Minnesota's entire coaching staff basically went from X's and O's to TMZ headlines. You'd think they were auditioning for a Netflix drama called Coaches Gone Wild. And look, let's be real, this isn't pocket change we're talking about. WNBA salaries, even for coaches, aren't NBA-level stacks. A fine in this league hurts. It's like when your friend gets their car booted and they're suddenly calculating whether rent or groceries can wait. Reeve and her staff felt that hit, no doubt. What makes this sting even more? The optics. A head coach suspended in the playoffs, assistants fined, social media drama. It all paints a picture of a team unraveling at the absolute worst time. Instead of being laser-focused on surviving the Mercury, the Lynx now look like they're fighting battles on three fronts: the court, the refs, and the league office. And here's where it gets wild, because this wasn't just another coach suspension. Nope. What happened next pushed this whole saga into WNBA history books. We're talking uncharted territory, folks. Buckle up, because this might be the first time ever the league pulled a coach mid-playoffs.
They put out a statement, and this statement says Minnesota Lynx head coach Cheryl Reeve has been suspended. Oh, it calls for some accountability, and it gets you suspended. This league is something else, folks. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to think about this supposed professional sports league. I've been covering and talking about sports for 6 years. I've never seen anything like this. I've been in tune to sports for 50 years. I don't remember anything like this that was this dumb, this illiterate. It's nuts. It really is. And damn you, WNBA, for making me have to actually defend Cheryl Reeve of all people. But here we are. The enemy of my enemy is my friend at this point.
A first for playoff history. All right, let's zoom out. Coach suspensions happen in sports, sure. NBA, MLB, NFL. Coaches have been tossed, fined, even suspended before. But in the WNBA, especially during the playoffs, this is borderline unprecedented. Think about it. Playoff basketball is where everything matters more. Every possession is magnified, every timeout is crucial, and every adjustment could be the difference between advancing or going home. Now imagine being the Minnesota Lynx, down 2-1 in the semifinals, and suddenly your head coach, the person steering the ship, is barred from even entering the arena for Game 4. That's not just a punishment, that's history being made. And here's why it's such a big deal. Cheryl Reeve isn't just some coach, she's the coach. We're talking a 4-time WNBA champion, the winningest active coach in the league, and someone who's been at the helm of the Lynx dynasty for over a decade. Pulling her out of a playoff game is like the NFL suspending Bill Belichick before a Super Bowl. You just don't see it happen. It's a message loud enough to echo around the league. Nobody's bigger than the game, not even a coaching legend. Now here's the double edge. On one hand, this makes the WNBA look serious about professionalism. They're saying, We don't care if it's the playoffs, we're holding the line. On the other, it risks making the league look a little too thin-skinned, because suspending a Hall of Fame caliber coach mid-series doesn't just impact Reeve. It tilts the entire competitive balance of the matchup. It's the equivalent of ejecting the captain of one ship while the other still sails full crew. And the fans know it. Some are applauding, saying this sets a precedent and raises the standard of conduct. Others think the league overreached, using the playoffs to flex its authority in a way that ultimately punishes the players more than the coach. After all, Reeve can serve her suspension, pay her fine, and come back next year. But if the Lynx lose because they didn't have her in Game 4, that stain lasts forever on the record books. This is why fact number 3 hits different. It's not just about one fiery rant or one missed call. This suspension could go down as a turning point in how the WNBA handles accountability and how coaches walk the tightrope between passion and punishment. But let's not get it twisted. This whole suspension wouldn't even be happening if it weren't for one thing that's been bugging coaches all season: the refs. Yep, the Zebras are officially in the spotlight. And this controversy isn't just about one no call, it's about whether officiating is ruining playoff basketball.
The officiating crew that we had tonight, for the leadership to deem those 3 people semifinals playoff worthy is malpractice. I can take an L with the best of them. I don't think we should have to play through more than what they did. We got players, Masha's on the glass and gets cracked, and there's no call. And all of them said, it wasn't my call. I don't know. I didn't see it that way. They're awful.
So to what Reeve had to say, here is, first of all, the play in question that I was talking about. The Mercury posted this on their socials. People got mad because it says pocket picked in the playoffs. But I do believe this was a, clean-ish play from Alyssa Thomas here. As you can see, Collier's coming around, and Thomas just makes a play on the ball right there, right? There's contact that happens in the midst of it into Collier's legs, and the replays are ugly when you see what actually happened to Nafisa. It sucks. It's a bummer. But I think that was a swipe at the ball from Thomas, and you could dub the contact incidental. People could argue whether there should have been a foul called or not, but to me, that was more or less a clean steal. That led to Cheryl Reeve's complete crash out, and she flipped out on the refs. I mean, you barely ever see anybody flip out on the refs and the like Reeve did here on this. And here's the reaction from the Lynx coach out on the court, basically chasing the referees down. She eventually gets ejected, but she was furious. Like, absolutely furious.
The ref problem real or imagined? All right, let's talk Zebras, the referees. Because this Cheryl Reeve blow-up, it didn't happen in a vacuum. It's the climax of a season-long gripe fest about WNBA officiating. Here's the scene. Alyssa Thomas strips Nafisa Collier clean near the three-point line, bolts the other way, and Collier crashes to the hardwood, clutching her leg. To the Lynx, to their fans, it looked like a foul. To the refs, nope. Play on. And when the National Basketball Referees Association later posted the highlight online with the caption, "This is not a foul," defending their call, it was like poking a bear that's already mid-roar. They broke down frame by frame that Thomas touched the ball first, contact was incidental, and the refs got it right. Technically, sure. But from a fan's perspective, it looked like one of those plays where nobody would have been mad if the whistle blew. And this is where it gets messy. Coaches around the league have been saying all season, the WNBA has an officiating problem. Becky Hammon of the Las Vegas Aces put it perfectly. She compared WNBA defense to NFL football. You can bump and grab a wide receiver for 5 yards in the NFL, but in the W, you can do it for the whole half court. Translation: the physicality's out of control, and refs aren't keeping up. Even WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert had to address it at All-Star Weekend. She basically admitted, yeah, consistency is an issue, but we're reviewing plays, we're training refs, we're working on it, which is league speak for, we know it's bad, give us time. The problem is, the playoffs don't wait. You can't just tell a coach in the middle of a semifinal collapse, "Don't worry, we'll improve by 2026. Here's the kicker. Reeve didn't just complain about officiating in general. She named names. Isaac Barnett, Randy Richardson, Jenna Renault, the exact crew she said should never have been assigned a semifinal game. Calling them playoff unworthy and labeling it malpractice wasn't just a vent. It was a public vote of no confidence in the league's referee assignment process. That's nuclear. Now let's put this in perspective. In the NBA, coaches complain about refs all the time. Fines, yes. Suspensions, not really. But the WNBA, it's still building its reputation, still fighting for credibility and growth. So when coaches go scorched earth, it doesn't just hit the refs, it hits the league's image. If fans think the games aren't fair, why tune in? That's the existential crisis right there. So the officiating issue isn't just about one no call or one coach's outburst. It's about whether the WNBA can deliver playoff basketball that feels consistent, fair, and professional. Right now, that's up for debate. And that's the cliffhanger. The Lynx aren't just playing the Mercury anymore. They're battling fate, injuries, suspensions, and the league itself. The question is, do they rise from this chaos, or does this go down as one of the most brutal playoff collapses in WNBA history? Drop your take in the comments. Are you Team Reeve's passion or Team League's discipline? And if you want more fast, fiery breakdowns of sports chaos like this, smash that subscribe button and ring the bell. Because trust me, the way these playoffs are going, the drama is only getting started.